Next Gen 720, and I'm back with another video. Now today's video, there's been much hoopla, much debate, and over this whole used games and X, Y, and Z. Sony and Microsoft, I guess. First Microsoft was just feeling the heat, and now it's, I guess, everybody's in the gaming industry, YouTube, rest of the world is up in arms. So, but if, like I said, a lot of you guys that are. Oh, before I start today's video, shout out, me and my wife, we took a trip down memory lane yesterday, and we were. I'm gonna show you guys the game. Yeah, I hate Nintendo, right? Motherfucking Killer Instinct. I got this for the 64 too, but dope shit. Believe it or not, in fighters, my wife's the truth, man. Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, she gets it in. So anyway. So a lot of you guys are in disbelief or think that Sony's not going to adapt the same thing when it comes to used games. And I have like I said, I haven't been doing YouTube long. It'll be a year, I think, come E3, a little bit after E3. Shout out to you guys, been rocking out with me since day one. Anyway, so I've met a few people. I met a lot of people. A lot of you guys out here, I'm really accessible. I'll give my Skype to everybody. A lot of you guys have my number, But anyway, I met two individuals that work in the video game industry, and everybody got a song and a dance. And like I said, I didn't believe him. He was telling me, for a while, and he used to tell me I should make a video about this. I'm never rude to anybody, so you know what I mean. But what happened was I got a friend's request on Facebook, and I accept everyone. You know what I mean. And I got a message. He said, "Please don't tell nobody what I do and who I am." And I said, oh, "Okay, cool. It's cool." And I've seen him at his workstation, and yes, he does work in the video game programmer and stuff. So, I'm not saying like he's the president, he's a superstar. So he is privy to a lot of information. Just put it that way. And he said to me on Skype, I think I may have sent RXL a piece of the message that he sent to me. And now I know I sent it to my man Amir Scott. But anyway, he was like that, people's been giving Microsoft a bad, kicking their teeth in base when it comes to this online DRM, but blocking used games or not blocking used games. Says Sony's going to do the same thing also. And if you guys don't believe me or, Jeff Keighley, you guys know who Jeff Keighley is, the joke from over the game trailers, said the same thing. Look at it in this aspect. If Sony didn't have any intention, they're not going to block used games, but didn't have any intentions on restricting used games. How Sony said it's not going to be up to us, it's up to developers. What developer doesn't want to make more money? Say if Sony didn't have any intentions of doing so, or managing used game sales on their platform, they wouldn't have put in place. They bought that one patent that said to block used games on their platform. It's known fact. You know what I mean? But like I said, a lot of you. It's one thing I said to be a fan, but with some of you motherfuckers are just. I hate to use the word dumb, but it's goddamn video game. But some of the shits you guys don't think like. You treat these gaming companies like they're your master or something. But anyway, basically, if you don't know, from what I've been told, and what he told me, look, he didn't tell me everything. Like I said, these people do have non-disclosure agreements. But say if I walk into GameStop with this game right here, Mortal Kombat 2, and I want to trade it in, and I have the Xbox, the GameStop employee will log into Microsoft server. They put it in the code. This would take this game, Mortal Kombat 2, off of my games. You know what I mean? And then when GameStop goes to resell that game, Microsoft gets a portion. Midway and Acclaim gets a portion. Guys, remember Midway and Acclaim? I'm sorry, not Midway. Before Midway, Acclaim. Guys, still back right here. They used to make all the rest of the games and shit back in the day. They get a portion, and GameStop gets the rest. You know what I mean? It doesn't cost you or anything. You know what I mean? Which, like I said, I'm all about the developers getting, people that, especially these small companies, getting a piece of the money. You know what I mean? That's how it works. And as far as what I'm hearing, as far as the Sony PlayStation 4, how it's going to work, each game that you buy is going to come with an activation code. You're going to put that code in, and that, more or less, like an online pass, as far as EA was going to give you access to the game, whatever the case may be. And if you don't have that access code, Sony's then going to charge you a fee to, buy, I want to say online passes. They're going to charge you a fee. I don't know if it's $15 20 something to to activate the game on your platform. Now, like I said, I have mixed feelings, but I said don't be foolish and don't think that Sony's not going to do this. Before I say it like this, people, especially here on YouTube, you guys think that Microsoft hates Sony and Sony hates Microsoft. This is, these people are all colleagues. I mean, this is their business. They all do business every day together. You know what I mean? All do. You got, if Sony hated Microsoft or Microsoft hated Sony, you wouldn't see Windows OSs on Sony laptops and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's not the case. Like I said, prime example, if Microsoft hated Sony or whatever, not say hate it, but you know what I mean, the PlayStation 4 is going to use some of Microsoft technology. You can say DirectX 11, you know what I mean, that is a Microsoft, pattern. That's their shit, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Like I said, people do business stuff all the day. Another shit I heard, well, the Xbox won't have Blu-ray because Sony does not own Blu-ray. It's a format, like it's a board of them. You have TDK and Maxwell and verbatim. And Sony is on that board. Like I said, Sony does not own Blu-ray in its entirety. That's not true. But you know what I'm saying about this? I have, like I said, mixed feelings about the whole used game market and stuff. Like me personally, I don't buy used games. I don't, not buy, but I don't trade in used games. I mean, I get all my stuff new. I'm not saying there's nothing. I'm not knocking those of you guys that do. Sometimes you can't afford to buy a new game. Like I said, I get it. You know what I mean? But for instance, like you take a game, like I said before, Battlefield 3. GameStop sold close to 1.4 million copies of that game used. Made upwards of $70 million, and out of that $70 million, DICE didn't get any of that money. You know what I mean? You take a game company like THQ that's went out of business. You take the game Saint Row 3, which was a great game. Think how many copies of Saint Row 3 were sold used. You know what I mean? Just say 300,000 copies sold used, 200,000 copies sold used. GameStop made $9 million off that. You know what I mean? You tell me right now, THQ can use some of that money, would have been $3 or $4 million of that. Maybe they still might be in business today. I'm not saying it would have, but just think about that over this whole generation of all their games that THQ have been sold used. You know what I mean? If GameStop would have shared some of the proceeds, you know what I mean? And like I said, GameStop may have seen, like I said, did see the error in the ways, because if you think about it now, when you used to buy a used game now from GameStop, they will put the online pass on the receipt. Before, they wouldn't even do that. You know what I mean? They would put the online pass on the receipt, you know what I mean? And you would go home and activate it. Like my man had bought a copy of Madden a few years ago. He bought it used. What I thought was stupid. It was used. It was $55, right? And he got home. He wanted to play me. And he still had to pay $10 for the fucking online pass. So he should have bought the game new. You know what I mean? But like I said, maybe have GameStop, shared some of the revenue with the small developers. Then like I said, we won't be here until where we are now. You know what I mean? Look at it this way. If I go out and buy a French Montana CD, right? And I rip it, I put it on my Mac, and I go home and I sell it to whoever. French Montana doesn't get any of that money. You know what I mean? I'm just being real, I'm just saying, like I said, I have mixed feelings about it, saying, like I said, I'm all about for the devs and the developers getting money and getting a piece of it, you know what I mean? But like I said, I don't like being told what to do, like saying basically, it's mine, I can do whatever I want with it, which is true, you know what I mean, aspect, but as far as you resell it, they don't see it that way, Here, I have an idea for you. Not, which is what they should do. Do it with used games. Make all games $30, right? Make them all $30. Just think about it. Do it with the used market. Think about it. For $100, you can buy 3 brand new games for fucking $100. You can't even get 2 games for $100 now. Like, that would be huge. You know what I mean? That would be big, man. Sales would be up and everything. Fucking, make all games $30 from now on. $30 flat fee. I'm not talking about as far as arcade games. I'm talking about, full retail titles, and you can still do your collector's edition for additional $10, $15, whatever the case may be. But make all, like I said, new games shit $30. You know what I mean? And, and do away with the used market. Like, that would be, like, business would be booming. That's a win-win for everybody. People will spend more money. You will have more money to spend. Like, goddamn, for $60 you can get 2 games? You know what I mean? But, these video game companies, they're so goddamn greedy, it won't happen. But, just say fuck the used game marketplace. Make all shit like $30. You know what I mean? And like I said, that's a win-win for every motherfucking body. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. You guys can let me know what you think about that. Do it with used games, period. No more used games. You know, trading game, no more of that shit. And just, boom, all games, $30. You know what I mean? So, you know, when GameStop reached out, you know, Flyback was like, they did over $1.8 billion in fucking used game sales. But they would say that's $1.8 billion put back in the industry, which is not necessarily true. You got to take into fact, because if you trade in some games, and whatever you give you $100 in store credit, whatever the case, you know, it's guaranteed that you're going to take that $100 and spend it on new games. You can take that $100 and spend it right back on used games. So like I said, that's money still in GameStop. More money still in GameStop pocket. Or, like I said, I know they do here at the GameStop in, you know, my town, is if I go there with Super Street Fighter, I want to sell it. You're not going to get as much in store credit, but they give me $10 for it. That's cash. You're not guaranteed to spend that $10 right back on video game. That's your $10. You can do what the hell you want with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this, you know, when GameStop said they, you know, that it's $1.8 billion put back into the gaming market, that's not necessarily true. Like I said, you can take that money they give you, their store credit, and spend it right back on used games. You know what I mean? And like I said, you know, DICE, THQ, whoever the fuck, you know, they don't get any of that money. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you're thinking that Sony doesn't have something in place, you know, and this Microsoft is going to do this shit on their own, forget about it. Also, before I close this video, I know I forgot, it's already 11 minutes. I read an interesting article, food for thought, on MaxConsole.com, and it's got and it says basically in a nutshell, it says the AMD Jaguar CPU that are inside both the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. It's saying, it says Rock Paper Shotgun got his hands on a 4-core 1.5 gigahertz variant of the 8-core 1.6 gigahertz chip found in both consoles. Speculation that once the multitasking and nature of both consoles are taken into account, you know, the PlayStation 4 has 18 cores, the Xbox One has 16 cores. He said taking into account those very things with multitasking, you only have like basically 4 cores left for gaming. You know, says, which, you know, I mean, I do understand that, you know, consoles are in a closed environment, and they probably can get a lot of those out of those 4 cores. But all that saying, EA, you know, I'm saying that the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are generations behind what gaming PCs can do. In theory, put it like this: RXL has about a $400 PC or something like that, and his PC is more powerful than the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. So basically, what this guy is saying here, that people with gaming rigs right now, whatever the case, not even the most beastly one, you know, consoles are still going to hold PCs back. You know what I mean? You're not going to have to upgrade anytime soon. You know what I mean? Especially if you have something like a 690 or a 680 or dual Titans or quad Titans, 4 Titans running in a quad SLI. You know what I mean? You won't have to upgrade probably for 5 gens. I still haven't showed my new gaming PC, and I may not even show it because you know, that's a shitstorm. I got so much grief behind that shit. Not even from the niggas that I fuck with, from niggas that I don't even fucking know. I guess the real live PC enthusiasts. Like this YouTube shit is funny. But anyway, I'm about to wrap this video up, man. And as I always say, what do you guys think? Do away with video games? Make all video games $30? That's my suggestion. Bang, bang. I'll hop for y'all.